Hello everyone, my name is Mike. I'm a behavioral designer over at Vimy. This week it seems like everybody's kind of concerned about Chinese coronavirus. I want to talk about a different kind of infection. I want to talk about observational learning, and I want to talk about mimicry, and I want to talk about how those can be leveraged for negotiations and for sales. The field of observational learning was first famously developed by the psychologist Albert Bandura. He's a professor of psychology at Stanford and the fourth most cited psychologist of all time. Dr. Bandura ran a series of studies in the 1960s called the Bobo the Doll experiments, in which children were made to observe an adult treating a doll violently, and then they were observed to treat the doll violently. This might not be a huge surprise for anybody who has kids. If you have kids, you know that they copy anything you do. Later studies have found that infants start mimicking their mother and other adults very, very early stage. They start mimicking the facial expressions. We now know that this instinct to mimic another is part of how we learn to empathize with others. So when you are mimicking subconsciously another's body stance and their facial expressions and even their accent, you are establishing better rapport with them. You are understanding their mental state, their mood, and their motivation, which is of course a good thing. This holds true for negotiations. It even holds true for interrogations. Studies done on police interrogations have found that when interrogators are mimicking their suspect, they are likelier to gain a confession. When partners are discussing negotiations or two sides are discussing some business transaction and there is good mimicry going on in the room, both sides are likelier to come out of the negotiation feeling more positive about it and report better outcomes for the negotiation. It holds true for retail situations as well. Studies done in retail have found that when salespeople are mimicking the body language of their customer, they are 27% more likely to close a deal, which is huge. Furthermore, they are 54% likelier to convince the customer to buy the product that they're advocating for. All this is true for offline. In online, there's a famous study done by Facebook in 2013. They took a group of 700,000 users and started exposing them to more negative posts on their feed. Within 2 weeks of study, it was discovered that this group was affected so that they mostly, on average, posted more negative stuff than they would have normally. And furthermore, there was a ripple effect wherein a friend of a friend of a friend of somebody who was in the original group was affected and posted on average in that 2-week period more negative material than they usually would have. So we talked today about mimicry and we talked about observational learning. I hope that you can use this for positive impacts and make a positive impact on your business and in your life. And thank you very much. If you like this video, please subscribe and comment, and I'll see you again next week. Cheers.